Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're having a good Friday. So I just wanted to talk this week about liability limits on car insurance. So we've been going over home insurance a little bit these last few weeks, but today I want to go over auto insurance and just kind of go over just one part of auto insurance, which is the liability limits. So here we have a traveler's quote. Kind of looks like there's a lot of information, but I wanted to show the price difference between different liability limits. So we have four different quote scenarios where the only thing that changes is the limit of liability. So this is with Travelers Auto Insurance. Great company. I love working with them. I have a lot of clients with them. Very good pricing, very good coverage. So liability limits is made up of three separate sections. So we have two separate sections, three different numbers. So we have the liability and the property damage. So this quote here is going to be the state minimums in the state of Utah. So $25,000, $65,000, $25,000. So it's $25,000 per person for medical bills or liability payments to one person. So if you're in an accident, you're at fault, and the person in the vehicle is hurt, they have $25,000 from your auto insurance for those payments. Next number is $65,000 per accident. So it's that same number, medical bills or liability bills, but this is per accident. So we could have $25,000 per person, $65,000 per accident, which means there can be, let's say there's three people. Each of them would not receive $25,000 because that would be $75,000, which would be above the per accident limit of $65,000. So we could have $12,000, $12,000, and then $25,000. That's okay, but $65,000 is the cap per accident. Then $25,000, the third number, $25,000 is for property damage. So this is to cover the property that you hit, right? So that person's vehicle, maybe you run into a home, a wall, a pole, whatever it might be. That is the limit for that. So if you hit two vehicles, let's say you hit someone so hard that they go into the vehicle in front of them, you'd have to pay both vehicles, right? And so that limit can be eaten up really quick, and so can the other limits. And so that's why that's the state minimum. The next limit up is $50,000, $100,000, $50,000. Then we go 100, 300, 100. And then 250, 500, 250. So there are numbers in between, but these are the most common numbers and the most common increments up in the state of Utah. So with state minimum, $150 a month for this particular quote. These are for two nicer vehicles, so it is a little more expensive. But if we bumped up from the state minimums of $25,000, $65,000, $25,000 to $50,000, $150, it would only be $157 a month. So $7 more a month. Not crazy, but you're basically doubling the coverage that you have in the event that you're in an accident that you're at fault at. And then we have 100, 300, 100, $167 a month. So $17 more a month. It's $211 more a year for basically quadrupling the per person and almost quadrupling each other section. So quadrupling the property damage and almost quadrupling the per accident. And then 250, 500, 250 is $182 a month. So $32 more a month. The difference between the limits is, might be how many assets you have. Do you own a home? How many cars do you have? Do you have any toys, ATVs, razors, anything like that? How much cash do you have in the bank? Because if your limits are exhausted, someone can sue you and take possession of your assets or your cash to pay out the remainder of the claim. So these limits are good to have. A lot of people have the state minimums because it's the cheapest, but I would highly suggest at least 50, 150. Or anything higher than that, depending on how many assets you do have. So consult with your insurance agent. These prices may differ. They will differ depending on who you are and your situation. So Let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to talking to you next week. Thanks.